Here we go again. Another Insomnia art with your boy Mike, aka Naval Cosmos. Uh, this is a subject for The Flash, Barry Allen, forensic scientist struck by a bolt of lightning on a fated night, given extreme super speed and the mind to do interesting things with it. I grew up loving The Flash, and this is a character that's been getting a lot of love lately on TV and hopefully in the movies. So I really wanted to do kind of a subject on him. Right now, you can see I'm laying down the musculature, making sure that the legs are right. Because with the Flash, the most important things to get right are his legs. Those are his livelihood. That's how he makes his money. So you want to make sure you get those right. Now I'm laying down some arm work, going into the fingers, which, like I said before, fingers and toes, ladies and gentlemen, those are the hardest things to get right. And you want to get them right, even though I'm not the best finger and toeologist. My phalanges sometimes look a bit weird, but that's okay. We're all learning, aren't we? So you can actually see me breaking down the musculature and getting really into the details now, working on his face and eyes. Usually I start with the face first, to kind of flesh out how I want the face to look. But lately I've been going kind of a different route. I've been starting kind of from the bottom up, and I found that my structure's anatomy is a bit more solid when I do it that way. I do start all my images with the head, the round circle, as a standing point of kind of where the composition is going to be on the image, where the character is going to stand, their posture, all of that fun stuff. But for the detail work, I found myself going into the feet and legs first and kind of working around getting the muscle right and then laying down the bottom detail. Um, as we get through this actual rough sketch, I'll kind of go over a couple of flash facts as they were. Definitely love all the different flashes from Barry to Wally to Jay to Max Mercury to missing one, Jesse Quick. Hopefully they have Max Mercury actually on the show at one point. That would be cool. Watch that on the CW. It's a great show. They're working wonders with it. If you haven't seen the most recent episode, I hate to date this artistic breakdown, but it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful show. You can see here I'm laying down my inks. I actually switched up my inking style a little bit this time around. For the outside line, I want something a bit more solid, something a bit more clean. So I'm using a studio pen for the outside, but going back to my more rough, wet inking for the inside because I like the heavy look it gives when it comes to the shadow. So you can see there, laying down my basic shadow, even for a character that's pretty bright. You want to make sure that your shadows are good because most of the Flash's outfit is reflective because he's a big shiny bolt of red crimson lightning, red crimson, and you want to get that right. So now I'm laying down some shoulder musculature with angles like this. You want to make sure that the arms and the legs are kind of positioned correctly. You know, I'm not the best at it. I'm not the best artist. This is not what this tutorial is all about. It's about really getting your artwork out there, no matter what, and just having fun doing it. Because at the end of the day, you want your work to show for yourself, and you want to be able to feel comfortable with how your work turns out. Not everybody's gonna like it. Everyone's a critic, especially online. But you have to have faith in your own art because you have to be happy with yourself and happy with the product you put out. And if that means staying up late nights like now to hone your art, then so be it because you love doing it and you wouldn't want it any other way. Working on his horns right now is one of those, his kind of antennae, his Hermes like wings on the side of his head. I always like drawing those and the different iterations therein. Inking his fingers right now, making sure those look somewhat decent, laying down a bit more shadow. Now I'm working on the head. This always makes me super nervous because that's the one thing you got to get right. It's the eyes, windows to the soul, right? So you want to make sure your eyes are how you want them to be. If you want them to be weird looking, or intense, or happy, it's all on you. You're the artist. You're the curator. The actual mood of the character is based on your interest. So if you want to draw a happy Barry or a mad Barry or a crying Barry, that would have been powerful. I wish I would have done that in retrospect. You do that because it's your pick. I've drawn pictures of Batman smiling, of the Joker looking serious. It doesn't matter. Just do what you want to do. Speaking of Batman and Joker, with these images and with these Insomnia works, I kind of want to bounce around between the big companies. I'm either a Marvel fanboy or a DC fanboy. I'm an equal opportunity comic book fan. So I want to spread these out. Maybe do a Marvel, a DC, an independent, uh, or whatever strikes my fancy at 2 o'clock in the morning whenever I'm drawing these. But that is was something I'm keeping in mind. So now I'm laying down my shadows, laying down my lighting, kind of getting that right. With this suit, I really wanted to go more of the 90s Flash TV show, which kind of dates my age, but that's the one I grew up with, what's the actor's name? Wesley Snip, who plays Barry's father now. It was the original Flash. That show was awesome. Shout outs to anyone who remembers the main villain Pike punching the TV. One of the best parts of my life. It kind of molded me as the man I am today. That part, just specifically that part. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the old Flash television show. You will not regret it. Now I'm working on this interesting light lines that they started doing in these new fangled designs. Gotta love Jim Lee, so detailed. So I was kind of figuring out how I wanted those to look, how I wanted that to work out. Found a brush that I was happy with, and thus began to do it. Now I'm working on the background. I'm kind of happy with the way my flash is looking. Working on some kind of speed force, dark, wanted the flash to pop. So I'm laying down some background and uh, figuring out adding a bit more electricity, working on some motion blur in the back, make it look like the flash is coming right at you. You know, force perception, something you want to kind of master. And this is kind of the end of my image. I'm happy the way this one turned out. Turned out pretty well. This is your boy Mike, Naval Cosmos, signing off.